All right, Tammo. Thank you very much for taking your time and inviting me here to your recycling plant for municipal, well, not municipal waste, but for electronic waste, which also include batteries. So, can you explain me, before we jump into today's topic, how you found into this field?
Yes, thank you, Simon, for the invitation. Um, we are an electronic recycling company since 1992. My father founded the company, and we are one of the pioneers in the recycling of electronic scrap.
Mm-hmm.
And so our main aim is to get the batteries out of the normal scrap or out of the housing,
Mm-hmm.
so that further companies can recycle them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. So it's not about if we sort this in the battery value chain, and then in this case in the subsection of recycling, it's not that you are producing the black mass, but that you are preparing the batteries. So you're breaking out the housing, etc. So you take out the battery cells in order to transfer those battery cells to then the battery material recyclers, who then create the black mass, which is then taken for a new generation of new battery cells.
Yes,
Correct?
that's perfect. Right.
Okay, gotcha. So, can you explain us how do you get that waste, and what are the general steps that one needs to understand? I think
Mhm.
one more note on this here. We are talking about battery cells that are not automotive generally. I mean, you have
Mhm.
done this in the past as well, as I understood,
Mhm.
but we are talking on the intersection between the cells that come from appliances from micromobility usually, like scooters, pedelecs, e-bikes, things along those lines, who don't follow a strictly um, structured recycling process like an
Mhm.
automotive battery, a car battery does,
Mhm.
but that goes the municipal route, correct?
Yes.
So that people can bring those battery cells or those appliances to the recycling facilities, the municipal ones, and then
Mhm.
they interact with you. But please elaborate this, because
Yes,
in your words, I think it's much more precise.
that's right. We get the main amount of our electronic waste from the municipality recycling yards, municipal
Hmm.
recycling yards, and they are the normal customer people,
Hmm.
whoever. They bring their pedelec, their scooter, their microwave, their toaster, so all those small domestic appliances,
Yeah.
uh, which um, which you have at home and which will be broken someday.
Hmm.
And they bring it to the recycling yard. There they sort it into the battery-free um, e-waste and the battery-containing e-waste.
Hmm.
And everything which contains the batteries will be treated at our plant in a special manner to get out the battery cell um, as unbroken as possible.
Hmm.
So when it comes to us, we have a chain crusher that just smashes the device and opens it so that we can sort out the battery cell by itself
Hmm.
or the something like this. So
Yes.
um, some
S-
more batteries.
So that's a little that's probably a laptop battery in this
Yes,
case,
yes,
right?
that's a
Hmm.
laptop battery. This
So it's
too.
kind of a
The
module, you could say.
Yes, so they are not totally broken.
Mm.
They are kind of crushed,
Mm.
but you're still able to recycle those cells
Mm.
and to sort those cells because there are, of course, a lot of different chemicals.
Yes.
Um, yes, and our main aim is to get those cell out of the electronic waste
Hmm.
um, without them being burned.
Hmm.
Because I think if a cell is burned, then of course all the black mass and whatever is waste.
Hmm. And I think it also raises quite a huge danger for your recycling facility as well, because if a cell burns, I mean, lithium is self-inflammable, so it doesn't need anything in order to propagate. And if one cell burns and you have a lot of cells in that recycling mass, then you could risk a fire. And I think this happened to you in the past, correct?
Yes.
And can you explain this very pragmatic problem that we see and why this is not solved yet and what we could do about this?
Well, I think we have two problems. One
Mm-hmm.
problem is that the pre-sorting of the material is not right, so
Mm-hmm.
that we don't get um, a clean fraction of non-battery e-waste,
Mm-hmm.
which we can treat in a much faster and much easier way than those containing batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is something in the wrong fraction,
Mm-hmm.
then we have to be very careful.
Yeah. So
This
so
is
what you mean is that there's electronic waste which should not contain batteries, but generally because there are so many batteries in appliances nowadays,
Mhm,
there likely is a battery in there which
mhm.
potentially could catch fire.
Yes, this is one of the problems.
Mm-hmm.
And the second problem is that if we get battery containing appliances, that a lot of the batteries are full, so
Mm-hmm.
they are charged.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for the recycling process. Of course, it's dangerous, but it's also not good for the environment that some cells will burn then.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we crush them in a chain crusher,
Mm-hmm.
then they get a little bit smashed. So there will be a short circuit inside the cell, and if the cell is empty or not very full, then it's no problem. But if we get fresh batteries, for example, um, inside an e-vibe, which doesn't taste good and will be thrown
You mean
away.
those little e-cigarettes,
Yes,
right? So this
those
is not
e-cigarettes.
e-mobility right now, but
Yes. So
just an example
this
for
is
batteries.
for fire. It's the most dangerous things.
Yeah.
We also get those scooter batteries,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot open a lot of scooters because they are built in the bottom of the scooter. They use, of course, a kind of glue to make it
Mechanically rigid.
yes,
Mm.
rigid and waterproof.
Oh, yeah.
And the screw heads are at the bottom, and most of them are so damaged that you cannot open them by hand.
Okay.
So you have to crush them mechanically,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's good to have an empty battery because then a lot more can be recycled.
Mm. Yeah, it's so important that I recently had a conversation with Christoph Grohmann, who is an expert on and also fund companies, and currently the CEO and founder of the X-Ray Solution. Totally different field, but he made one point and said we have to design the products in order to be able to be quality tested. Well, here's another thing where we have to keep in mind how we design our products in order to be recyclable, right? So that you can open the screws, that you can access the batteries without risking to open a battery in a harmful or dangerous way.
Mhm.
Um, because as I understand, you cannot plan really on receiving discharge batteries.
No.
With the automotive battery
Mhm.
pack, it's clear. There are clear rules,
Mhm.
and also the economic viability of taking up a big battery is more there because it's a
Mhm.
very big, expensive battery where you can
You can
recycle
spend
very
a
well.
lot of more of effort to
Exactly. You
for
get a
this
lot of
battery.
active material out of
Mhm.
this one piece, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So there it's worth making a contract and then having
Mhm.
this in a structured manner. But here we are talking about smaller batteries
Mhm.
where everything is a little bit
Mhm.
chaotic, so to speak,
Mhm.
and different types of batteries.
Mhm.
So we really must to make sure, so your second point, that those batteries are empty. And this is not the case always, correct?
Yes, that's not the case, but I think they're the people who throw it away.
Hmm.
They can somehow handle it because a lot of the machines are still working. They're thrown away, um,
Mm.
but being okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just turn them on and then throw them away, this would be very good for us. To mention another thing,
Yeah.
the batteries we get back from the e-scooters,
Mm-hmm.
they are very fresh. So the lifetime of such an e-scooter is very short compared to those big automotive batteries.
Mm.
So that's why we get batteries back, which will be taken back in the automotive sector in maybe 5 years.
Mm. So you are the first, I think it's important to note, you're the first who are dealing with the recycling issues of those new battery chemistries. Right? The half-life or the lifetime of a car, you said is 10 years. Those of a scooter is maximum 5. So
Mhm.
you're always the first who are dealing with the new chemistries. And I think this is important to note because there's more and more energy within each and every cell. And well, there are different types of chemistries evolving, like LFP, which is assumed to be more safe, also in terms of recycling. But then there are also those high nickel batteries who have a lot more energy per cell or per
Mhm.
the gravimetric energy density, which are still quite risky in terms of short circuiting and then propagation, thermal propagation,
Mhm.
meaning catching fire.
Mhm.
I understand. So, what is your proposal? What is the potential that we have in order to optimize the situation? Do you see any measures that we can take from an entrepreneurial point of view?
Well, of course, there are a lot of KI systems introduced now
You
that
mean AI, right?
AI,
Artificial.
yes,
In German, it's
sorry,
künstliche Intelligenz. In
um,
English, it's AI. Yeah.
AI thinks that
Like visual inspection and
yes,
things
that
along those
should
lines.
make visual inspection, but
Mm.
uh, this is it's just the second step, I think,
Mm-hmm.
or a step when you don't have a man in front of the machine.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just want to load a machine by an excavator or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
then you need those things
Mm.
if you cannot handle the fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think it's better to get one step back and that the sorting of the material at the recycling yard should be much better.
Mm-hmm.
In Germany, we call it Thekenmodell, so that
Mm.
everyone puts his material he wants to
Yeah, onto the counter, and
on,
then
yes,
an
onto the
expert
counter.
sorts it out for you, right? The phone
Yes,
goes into the phone bin, and then
yes,
so you
yes,
sort the batteries or like the battery containing devices to their respective bin.
yes.
Mm.
Because everyone who brings his material to a recycling yard, those are the good guys.
Mm.
They want to make it right.
Yes.
And we should not make the effort.
Yeah, we should
Yeah,
support them.
we should
Yeah.
support them.
On the political end or governmental end, do you see any official measures that can be taken beyond raising the voice for, hey, everyone should be and act responsible? Is there anything that you see on classification on batteries, on strict rules, even on fees or some measures, economic measures that should be taken?
For us, it would be perfect if the sorting at the recycling yard would be better,
Mm-hmm.
and and that everyone who brings his e-waste to the recycling yards takes care that that they are discharged.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are not discharged, then we might need a third bin for the not empty battery
Yeah, but this
containing
would
material.
require testing at the recycling yard, and this is quite difficult
It's
to do.
difficult, yes.
So I think the bottom line here is it's a really complex problem that is not solved yet. And my question there would be if there is anything that we also could do in terms of talking to governmental institutions that put up regulations and yeah incentives
Mhm.
to promote a good behavior. I think this is also cannot be answered yet, but let's strive
We
for this.
yes, we try it. Also, our Verband, the BVSE,
Mm-hmm.
we try together with other recycling Verbänden,
Associations.
associations, that the people at the recycling yard are better in the sorting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then let's put out this message, and I hope that the
Yes,
situation will be better very soon.
we hope so too, and we invest a lot in machinery to get rid of the fire risk.
Mm.
So that because I don't think that the politic will change, and I don't think that it will change fast if it changed.
Mm.
So even though we still have a lot of old batteries in the field,
Mm-hmm.
which will come back, and we don't know when.
Okay, we'll see. Thank you,
Thank you,
Tammo.
Simon. Thank you, Simon. Bye bye.